Hello, everyone. This is Kelsey Hale. I am filming this reflection on our Yellow Dig post that we did for our career aspirations, accomplishments, and then also our teaching philosophy, nursing practice scholarship, all that kind of stuff, and how I have grown as a nurse educator in relation to those. So for the very first part that we did with the subheadings of career aspirations, accomplishments, service, interests, and technology, I found it really interesting to just kind of reflect on what I have accomplished in my short time as a nurse. I've only been a nurse for 2 years, and I've worked at the same hospital. I worked at a nursing home for a couple of months before I started at the hospital. While I was applying for jobs, I worked at the nursing home. So it's just interesting to look back and see what accomplishments I have made, and then like the growth that I want to see in myself. Because I've been in school, I've been focusing more on school and kind of like I've been learning at work and I've been doing what I need to do, but I haven't really done any professional growth there. So I really want to get my certification as a med surg nurse, and then I also want to get ACLS because I do charge nurse sometimes. So looking back at my accomplishments and like the different service projects that I've done, which haven't been very many, it's been interesting to see like where I'm starting and then how far I have to go. So it's really motivated me to get some stuff done once I graduate from school in December, like get my certification as a med surg nurse. Um, it was also interesting to look at the different interests that I have within nursing, because some of them, until I really thought about it, I didn't know that they were interests that I had. Like evidence-based practice has never really been an interest to me, but now that I've created my project and everything, whenever I hear other people talk about evidence-based practice and projects that they want to do, I have this greater knowledge of it because it's been required for school. So I feel like I'm able to like talk to them more and kind of guide them, whereas before I would have had no idea. So um, the very first section that we did, it just kind of gave me a starting point, and then it also helped me look at where I want to go. So I've grown as a nurse educator in those areas because I know what I want to accomplish and then what my aspirations are, where I want to end up, and it's just given me a greater appreciation for where I started and then where I want to end up. So for the second part, the teaching and learning philosophy, the nursing practice, and the scholarship, I really had to think about these. I don't know if it's because I am so young and I've only done 2 years of nursing, like nursing practice on the floor, or if it's because I haven't had very much education experience. Both my parents were teachers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like prepared to be a teacher because they always talked about it. So really thinking about my teaching and learning philosophy, my nursing experience as a nurse educator, and then also the scholarship. So how I have like given back to the nursing profession and any projects that I've done or anything like that. So it was really actually quite difficult for me to complete these three subheadings. Thinking about my philosophy, I just really wanted to dive into what I wanted to be as a teacher and who I wanted to be known as. So that's really where I've grown, is because I know now how I want to teach my students and how I was taught and what worked and what didn't. My my experience as a nurse educator is pretty limited besides the clinical hours that we were required to do. When I first started those, I was, and I still am, quite shy. I don't really like speaking in front of people, but since becoming a nurse and having to do those clinicals, I am much more apt to get up and actually teach and not feel so self-conscious about it, because I do know what I'm talking about most of the time, and if not, I know where to go to get the resources. And I did a lot of my hours in a nurse residency program, so newly licensed nurse residency program. And I really enjoyed that because they already have the knowledge base. So I'm not teaching them anything new. I'm just giving them skills and tools and resources to really succeed where they are. So I've definitely grown in that aspect, as I'm not nearly as hesitant to teach now, which seems kind of weird considering I'm in nursing education and that's what I want to do. And I am quite like quiet and shy. But I really enjoy like giving the knowledge to other people that I have and what I've gained. So I've really grown in that aspect. I definitely, for the scholarship section of the post that we had to do, I definitely realized that I have a long way to go in that aspect or in that regard. I don't have anything that's been published. I really haven't completed any projects. I mean, there's so much more that goes into a scholarship that I didn't even realize. So it gives me just a good starting point and kind of shows me where I have the most improvement to do. So I really found the entire assignment to be quite reflective to begin with, because you really have to look into what you've done, where you want to go, what your strengths are, kind of what your weaknesses are, where you have the most growth to do. So it was reflective to begin with, and then to do this reflection, it really makes you look back and see, it really did help you grow as a nurse educator, because now you have a better understanding of yourself. And I think, and as part of my teaching and learning philosophy, it was one of those where I want to be a continual learner. So it kind of just helps you reinforce that you need to continually learn, and you need to learn about yourself before you're able to really teach others. So I found this assignment to be very reflective initially, and then completing this reflection has also been quite interesting, and kind of makes you appreciate where you started and then where you want to go in the future. So that completes my reflection. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and good luck the rest of the semester.